Good, happy Saturday morning, June 4th, 2022. I'm Riley King. Welcome to this Saturday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Saturday morning, so let's get started right now. First up, police conduct criminal investigation into the night at Bow Lake. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Our main event tonight, you see multiple lines, draft passing,
We do have breaking news tonight. New Hampshire State Police providing a little explanation for what it calls a criminal investigation taking place on Bow Lake in Northwood and Stratford. State police say the situation on Bennett Island is contained, but will not say why it's considered criminal. The agency says there is a significant law enforcement presence in the area as they try to bring the situation to a conclusion. They're asking people to avoid the area. A 15K scheduled for tomorrow at Bow Lake has been canceled. We will continue to push for more information.
Okay, there you go on that video and that report. Cases of COVID-19 decreased slightly in New Hampshire. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Hi. A better internet experience is finally here. With Fidium Fiber Internet, you get ultra-fast gig speeds.
Cases of COVID-19 in New Hampshire hospitals down slightly. Right now, 83 patients are testing positive for the virus. 28 of those people are getting COVID-specific treatment.
Okay, there you go on that video and that report. As gasoline prices hit another record high in New Hampshire, many drivers not changing habits. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Hi. A better internet experience is finally here. With Fidium Fiber Internet, you get ultra-fast gig speeds on a dedicated...
What are you trying to stay under today?
I'd like to stay under 100, but it's not going to happen.
Car after car here in Hooksett seeing triple-digit totals to fill their tank.
I just can't believe I haven't seen this high in a very long time, so very discouraging.
Similar scenes at stations in Manchester. Nashua, too. Now over $5 a gallon. Little toys like this ATV used to cost $15 to fill for a day of riding. Now, $40.
When you see that number, what are you thinking?
Just wondering when it's going to end. When's the pain going to stop?
And for the big toys, that's almost as much as the truck for gas.
No, it hurts a little more, but we're still going to do it.
Data from the New Hampshire Department of Transportation shows, based on toll volume, about the same number of drivers are still hitting the roads despite the record high prices.
We do have a number of trucks at work, so that impacts that, but we still have to do what we have to do.
It hurts even more when you're filling up with diesel at $6.39 a gallon.
We're setting records every day. That's not the type of records we want to set.
Even folks used to higher gas prices, like the couple we met visiting from Scotland, were surprised at what they found.
The gas prices here have gone up, and they've gone up in Scotland as well.
Analysts say looking for relief, that would come at the end of the year at the earliest.
And while many say that the higher prices aren't changing their driving, a recent survey showed that folks saying as a result they are considering cutting back on dining out and trimming monthly subscriptions like streaming services.
Okay, there you go on that video and that report. Autopsy. Man found in Windham died of gunshot wounds to head. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Hi. A better internet experience is finally here. With Fidium Fiber Internet, you get ultra-fast gig speeds on a dedicated connection. That's 1,000 megabits per second.
A suspicious death after a body was found in Windham Thursday. Now a homicide investigation. The man's body found by workers near a portable toilet at a construction site on West Shore Road near Woodview Road. West Shore Road blocked off all of Thursday while several agencies investigated. The autopsy determined the man died of gunshot wounds to the head. Officials say they're not sharing the man's name until they tell relatives. Now neighbors say what's unfolding is unnerving.
I drove by that spot in the morning. We're going to work, and I didn't see anything there. And then we hear that this happened, and we have friends down that street.
It's just a few houses away. It was really a shock to us. I woke up a little bit late that day to an investigator at the door, so that was kind of weird, especially in Wyndham.
The Attorney General's office tells News 9 they're actively working this case. They say there's no indication this has any connection to other deaths. They don't believe there's a threat to the general public. And officials have not released any other information about the man's death. This is a developing story. We'll keep you updated both on air and online as we learn more. Live in Wyndham, Grace Feinerman, WMUR News 9.
Okay, there you go on that video and that report. Doctor pleads guilty, sentenced to prison in crash that injured Salem girl. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
What does it take to be the best? It takes guts, grit.
Jen and Tom, it was a very emotional day inside the courtroom today. Scott Dowd was sentenced to 3.5 to 8 years in prison. Now, he will have to serve those 3.5 years before he is eligible for parole. Today in the courtroom, Dowd entered guilty pleas to aggravated driving while intoxicated and 3 counts of reckless conduct. Dowd was behind the wheel of a car that crashed into a granite mailpost, sending it flying through the Tutroni family home in Salem back in July of 2021. The incident was caught on the family's home security. 5-year-old Juliana was nearly killed when she was hit by that post. Although she has physically recovered today, her father tells us she is still dealing with the emotional impacts that she received that day. He says he's happy to see that justice was served and his family can finally start to move forward.
Pretty happy with the judge's decision. This is a huge weight lifted off our family's shoulders, so big relief.
Now, there are also several supporters inside the courtroom for Scott Dowd. Many of them spoke on his behalf, asking the judge for leniency, but the judge says the crimes that Dowd committed were just too serious. Besides serving jail time, he'll also have to pay about $1,200 in fines. Reporting live in Brentwood, I'm Tim Gallery, WMUR News 9.
Okay, there you go on that video and that report. Travelers dealing with flight delays and cancellations due to storm moving through South Florida. Let's take a listen to that video from WPLG Local 10 News.
Rainy weather putting on a damper on so many vacation plans for travelers in South Florida. Some passengers were left stranded altogether when their flights either got delayed or canceled.
That's right. We have Local 10's Alexis Frazier live at Miami International Airport with the latest on the travel trouble. Good morning, Alexis.
Good morning, Alex and Andrew. So, yesterday we've seen hundreds of flights and cancellations throughout the day. And this morning we're seeing a handful of others. You can take a look at this board that shows up-to-date information. We're seeing flights canceled in Toronto, another one in Toronto, a couple of more in New York. But a lot of them, majority of them actually say they're on time. And those that were delayed, you can see they also have a new departing time. So we've seen a few people in this airport sleeping this morning, just waiting and hoping for a new flight. We also spoke to a few people who say they're losing money by these flight cancellations and delays. Some frustrated, as you can imagine. Others trying to just stay positive. You can take a listen to these ladies from D.C. They have been going through it from delays to cancellations.
We came from San Juan to Miami, and then we were planning on making our connecting flight to D.C., but then we found out it was canceled.
This morning we got another email that was like, oh, there's a tropical storm. Your flight might be canceled again.
not quite how they planned their vacation to end. And people who are from Miami say they're just hoping to actually get to their next destination this morning. They had their flight canceled, and they say even though they're not losing money on the front end, they're losing it on the back end where their vacation is actually scheduled and they have things planned. So you see all these people lined up hoping, they're going to get through TSA. Some people waving there. They're positive this morning. They have the hope that they're going to get through because we see a lot of flights on time. Of course, we'll keep you updated as those flight cancellations keep coming in. But for now, live at Miami International Airport, Alexis Frazier, Local 10 News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Travel trouble in South Florida. Former Trump advisor arrested. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
We're going to turn now to the arrest of former President Trump's trade advisor Peter Navarro, indicted tonight on charges of criminal contempt of Congress for defying a subpoena from the House committee investigating the January 6th attack. Rachel Scott at the courthouse in Washington tonight.
Tonight, a defiant Peter Navarro leaving a federal courthouse after being indicted on 2 counts of criminal contempt of Congress.
No American citizen should have to go through what I went through today, who is trying to do the right thing. I'm trying to do my duty to this country. I'm in an untenable position.
Trump's former trade advisor claiming he was handcuffed at an airport gate on his way to Nashville for refusing to comply with the House committee investigating the January 6th insurrection. Navarro was part of Trump's inner circle that pushed false claims about the 2020 election, even writing a book detailing his plan to overturn an election Trump lost. Lawmakers wanted him to turn over documents and testify. He refused, claiming his hands were tied, citing executive privilege. Overnight, the 72-year-old telling MSNBC he was worried about prison.
The average lifespan in America for an American male is 76 years old. If I were to go to prison for a year, which is what the contempt of charge could do to me, that would be about 1/4 of my remaining life.
The indictment, a rare move by the Justice Department. Navarro now the second Trump advisor to face criminal charges. Steve Bannon surrendered to authorities in November, pleading not guilty, and is set for trial next month. The House has also recommended 2 more Trump associates, former Chief of Staff Mark Meadows and Dan Scavino, be charged with contempt. But so far, the Justice Department has not taken action against them.
So let's bring in Rachel Scott. She's live from U.S. District Court tonight. Rachel, we know the first of the January 6th hearings will be next Thursday night in prime time with Americans able to watch. And in the meantime, Peter Navarro, we know, could face time behind bars, could potentially, but there's still nothing forcing him to talk here.
That's exactly right, David. If convicted on both counts, Navarro would face up to 2 years behind bars and a maximum fine of $200,000, but he would still not be compelled to speak or to comply with investigators. As for those televised hearings, those are set to kick off next Thursday, David.
All right, Rachel Scott with us tonight. Thank you, Rachel.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. That does it for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for tuning in and watching this Saturday morning edition. Have a great rest of your day, and see you back here later on today for another newscast. Goodbye.